Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right in a relationship? You're kind, you're respectful, you give her space, maybe even try to just be yourself. But no matter what you do, it somehow ends the same way. Confusion, frustration, sometimes heartbreak. You replay the conversations in your head, trying to find the mistake, trying to figure out what went wrong. And the worst part? Nobody tells you the truth. Society feeds you half-truths, cliches, and Disney-level nonsense about what women want. Be nice. Buy her flowers. Always agree. And then, when it all falls apart, you're left feeling like something's wrong with you. But here's the reality that nobody told you. Everything you've been taught about attraction is wrong. Women are not moved primarily by logic or checklists or rules that men believe they're supposed to follow. Women are emotional beings, guided by instincts and subconscious drives they themselves don't always fully understand. And because of that, there are weaknesses, blind spots, in female psychology that most men don't even know exist. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to uncover the weaknesses every woman has. Not so you can manipulate, not so you can play games, but so you can finally understand the reality of attraction and build stronger, deeper, and more powerful connections. This is about clarity, strategy, power. And I'll warn you now, some of this will sting. Some of this will challenge everything you thought you knew. But if you stay with me until the end, one of these truths might just change your entire approach to relationships forever. Before we even dive in, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt like you did everything right and still lost her? Type truth in the comments if that's ever been you. And stick around, because the answers are coming. Now let's begin with the first weakness. One that is so simple, so often overlooked, yet so incredibly powerful when mastered. Weakness 1. The steadfast man. Look around at the modern dating world. Women today have options everywhere. DMS from strangers, attention on Instagram, endless swipes on dating apps. She's bombarded by men who promise the world, flatter her in her comments, or flirt at the bar. Yet despite all of that, most of those men disappear just as fast as they appeared. They're inconsistent. They flake. They say one thing and do another. And women notice. Oh, they notice. That's why steadfastness, the ability to remain consistent, reliable, and grounded, is one of the most irresistible weaknesses in female psychology. Most men underestimate it because it doesn't sound flashy. It's not bad boy mystery or rock star charisma. But here's the truth. Women are tired of uncertainty. They crave stability in a world of chaos. And when you are the man who keeps his word, not sometimes, not when it's easy, but always, you stand out like a lighthouse in a storm. It's deeper than just showing up on time or sending the good morning text you promised. Being steadfast is about embodying stability in every area of your life. Your goals, your habits, your emotional control. When you say something, it happens. When you set a boundary, you hold it. When you promise a direction, you walk it. And here's the kicker. She doesn't consciously think, oh, he's steadfast. Instead, she feels it in her nervous system. She feels safe. She feels grounded. She feels like she doesn't have to second guess whether you'll be there tomorrow. And that's powerful. Because women today don't trust easily. They've been burned too many times. Men ghosting after a few dates. Guys losing interest after intimacy. Promises broken left and right. That's why the man who doesn't break becomes irresistible. But let's get practical. How do you cultivate steadfastness? Start small. If you say you'll call, call. If you commit to a time, be on time. Don't let little things slide, because women are watching those little things more than you realize. Build consistency in your own life. Set goals, fitness, career, personal, and actually follow through. When your life has structure, it radiates. When you live like this, she can't help but see you differently. You become the exception in a sea of flakiness. And here's where it gets interesting. Once she realizes you're consistent, her defenses begin to drop. She starts investing more emotionally. She starts respecting more deeply. Stay emotionally steady. Don't swing wildly with her moods. If she's upset, stay calm. If she tests you, stand firm. Let me ask you this. How many times have you told yourself you'd do something and then bailed? Imagine how much your life would change if you became the man who always followed through. Comment steadfast if that's the man you're working to become, and subscribe to the Stoic Guy. Because here's the truth. Steadfastness is rare. And what is rare is valuable, which makes it a weakness for women every single time. Weakness 2. Confidence, the key to unlocking her attraction. You've heard it 1,000 times. Confidence is attractive. But what does that actually mean? Most men hear this advice, nod their heads, and then immediately confuse it with arrogance. Walking with a puffed chest, talking too loudly, or trying to dominate every room they enter. But true confidence, the kind that makes women stop in their tracks, looks nothing like that. True confidence is quiet, steady, grounded. It doesn't scream, it radiates. It's the man who knows exactly who he is, flaws and all, and still moves through the world with calm assurance. That's why it's so magnetic, because it's rare. Here's the paradox. Women are drawn to confident men because women themselves often wrestle with insecurity. They wonder, am I enough? Do I look good enough? Do people respect me? Will he stay? And when a woman meets a man who is already centered, who doesn't need her validation to feel valuable, it hits her like fresh air after being trapped in a smoky room. He becomes irresistible because he represents what she secretly craves. Stability in a storm. Now here's where most men get it wrong. They think confidence means never doubting yourself. Wrong. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about being comfortable with imperfection. It's not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward even with the fear. And it's not built overnight. Confidence is forged through consistent victories with yourself. Think about it. Every time you set a goal and actually follow through, you prove to yourself that you are trustworthy. Every time you keep a promise, even if it's just waking up when your alarm goes off, you build that inner strength. Confidence is the accumulation of thousands of small wins stacked over time. Let me ask you directly. What's one thing you've been putting off that you know would make you stronger if you just did it? Drop it in the comments. Don't just say confidence is important. Tell me what you'll conquer first, because that's where real confidence begins. And here's the beautiful thing. When you start building this kind of confidence, rejection loses its power over you, because you realize that whether she accepts you or not, your value doesn't change. Setbacks don't crush you. A no doesn't break you. You don't need external validation to feel like a man. You create that validation within yourself. And that, my friend, is when you become dangerously attractive. Women test men all the time. They might ignore your text for a few hours. They might tease you about something. They might challenge your opinion. Why? Because they're subconsciously checking if your confidence is real or fragile. If you crumble, beg, or backtrack, you fail the test. But if you smile, stay grounded, and remain calm, you win. Every time. And this is the truth most men never understand. Confidence is not about convincing her. It's about convincing yourself. When you know you're enough, when you stand tall in your values, women feel it without you saying a word. So start small. Conquer your mornings. Keep your promises to yourself. Walk into every interaction remembering you are enough. And soon, you won't just be telling yourself that. She'll feel it every time she looks at you. Weakness 3. Ambition. Why women are drawn to men with goals. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men today are living on autopilot. They wake up, scroll, work, eat, repeat. And when you ask them about their goals, they shrug and say, "I just want to be happy." But happiness is not a strategy. Happiness is a byproduct of meaning. And meaning comes from ambition. Ambition is one of the most powerful weaknesses women have, because women are biologically wired to be drawn to men who are going somewhere. A man with no direction feels like a ship drifting aimlessly at sea. He might be fun for a while, but deep down, women know if he can't lead his own life, he won't be able to lead a family, a relationship, or even himself when storms hit. That's why ambition is magnetic. It's not about money, cars, or a flashy lifestyle. It's about having a clear sense of purpose. It's about waking up each day with fire in your chest and direction in your steps. Think of Marcus Aurelius. He didn't become one of the greatest emperors because he was chasing external validation. He was consumed by a duty, a vision of Rome's stability and legacy. That drive, that ambition, made him stand out not just as a ruler, but as a man who commanded respect across history. Women, then and now, are drawn to that kind of fire. And here's the thing. Ambition doesn't have to mean building a billion-dollar empire. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's building a strong body. Maybe it's mastering your craft, your art, your trade. The scale doesn't matter. The direction does. Because ambition whispers something women can't resist. This man refuses to settle. So let me ask you, what's your mountain? What goal are you climbing right now that sets you apart from the men who've already given up? Drop it in the comments, because your ambition, even if it's small today, can spark another man to rise tomorrow. Here's what you need to understand. Ambition isn't something you talk about. It's something you show. Too many men brag about their dreams, but have nothing to back it up. Women see through that instantly. If you say you're working on yourself, but you're still sitting in the same place a year later, she'll know you're just using words to cover weakness. But when she sees you in the gym consistently, when she hears about your side hustle, when she notices the books you're reading and the changes in your mindset, she realizes you're a man in motion. And a man in motion is hard to resist. Ambition also carries another secret. It creates gravity. People, not just women, are drawn to those who are chasing something bigger than themselves. It gives your presence weight. It gives your words authority. It makes your energy contagious. But here's where ambition becomes truly powerful in attraction. When you're ambitious, you don't make her the center of your world. She becomes part of your journey, not your entire purpose. And that makes her respect you even more. Because no woman wants to be your entire reason for living. She wants to join your mission, not replace it. So if you've been coasting, drifting, or waiting for motivation, it is about wake up. Start small if you must. Learn a skill, build a project, train your body, write your plan, do something that proves to yourself that you're moving forward. Because nothing is sexier than a man who knows where he's going. Ambition is not perfection. It's not about never stumbling. It's about forward momentum, about refusing to rot in comfort. Because comfort kills attraction. Growth ignites it. Weakness 4. The bad boy. Why a bit of mystery keeps her hooked. Let's be brutally honest. The phrase, "nice guys finish last," didn't come from nowhere. Every man has seen it happen. You treat her well, you're polite, you're respectful, you give her all the attention she could ask for. And yet she still chooses the guy who seems to care the least. Why? It's not because women want to be treated badly. It's because the so-called bad boy embodies traits that ignite something deeper in female psychology. Unpredictability, mystery, and self-possession. He doesn't orbit around her. He doesn't live for her approval. And that makes him a challenge, a puzzle she feels compelled to solve. The bad boy is really just a man who refuses to surrender his identity. He lives by his own rules, his own values, his own priorities. And in today's world, where most men bend at the first sign of disapproval, that kind of independence is intoxicating. Think of it like this. Most women are used to men chasing, pleading, over-explaining, apologizing. But when she meets a man who doesn't give her his full hand in the first 5 minutes, who reveals himself piece by piece, who carries mystery the way a soldier carries armor, she feels something rare. Tension. And tension is attraction. Now, this doesn't mean you should be cruel or cold. That's not the lesson here. The real secret is emotional control. The so-called bad boy doesn't allow her mood swings, her games, or even the chaos of life to rattle him. He's centered, calm, unmoved, and that stability wrapped in mystery is addictive. Let me ask you, have you ever lost a woman because you gave too much too soon? Have you ever felt like your honesty, your openness, your eagerness made her pull away instead of draw closer? Type "guilty" in the comments and subscribe to the Stoic Guy if this has happened to you, because it happens to almost every man before he learns this truth. And history is filled with these figures. From Achilles in Greek myth to Hemingway in literature to even modern leaders who lived unapologetically, women gravitated toward them, not because they were perfect, but because they were unpredictable, untamed, larger than life. Here's how you channel this without losing your integrity. Don't reveal everything about yourself immediately. Mystery builds in silence. Don't make her the sun you orbit around. Keep your mission as your North Star. Don't let her emotions dictate yours. A storm can rage, but you stay calm. Don't always be available. Scarcity breeds value. When you do this, you stop being another option in her DMs and start becoming a riddle in her mind. And trust me, women chase riddles they can't solve. Because in a world where most men are begging to be chosen, the man who stands firm, detached, mysterious, and a little unpredictable becomes the man she can't stop thinking about. Weakness 5. Ignored attention. How to use scarcity to increase your value. Here's a truth that most men refuse to accept. The more freely you give your attention, the less it's worth. We live in a world where women are showered with attention every single day. Their Instagram DMs are overflowing. They get likes, comments, stares, and endless validation. And because it's so abundant, it loses its value. Just like money. When there's too much in circulation, inflation destroys its power. The same happens with attention. That's why the man who resists the urge to flood her with validation immediately becomes more valuable. He breaks the pattern. He forces her to wonder, why isn't he chasing me like the others? Women crave attention, but they don't respect the attention that comes cheap. They want to earn it. They want to feel like your gaze, your time, your compliments are rare treasures, not something you hand out to every girl you find attractive. Be honest. Have you ever been the guy who texted too much, complimented too quickly, or gave her attention before she gave you any real effort? If yes, type ME in the comments and share this video with a brother who needs to hear it. You'll see you're not alone, and acknowledging it is the first step to fixing it. Attention works like a scarce commodity. When you don't give it away freely, she feels the pull to chase it. It's basic psychology. Scarcity creates value, and men who master this principle flip the entire dynamic of attraction. Now, don't misunderstand this. I'm not saying you should ignore her completely or play childish games. That's not strength. That's insecurity. What I am saying is this. Stop giving away your energy where it isn't earned. If she's not investing in you, don't keep investing in her. If she's not showing interest, don't force it. And if she's constantly seeking validation, don't reward it. This doesn't push her away. It makes her respect you more. When she realizes that your attention isn't easy to get, she'll start working for it. She'll dress better when she sees you. She'll text you first. She'll fight for your time. Why? Because she knows she can't just assume she has you wrapped around her finger. This is how you stop being another faceless guy in her inbox and start being the one man she thinks about at night. Fellas, if this makes sense to you, if you've ever felt the power shift when you stopped chasing and pulled back, type value in the comments and share this video with a brother who needs to hear it. Because that's exactly what you became. Valuable. Remember, your attention is your currency. Spend it wisely. Don't invest it in women who haven't shown effort, respect, or genuine interest. When you hold back, you don't lose, you gain power. And if this principle is hitting home, don't just nod and move on. Subscribe to the Stoic Guy right now. Because this channel is here to make sure you stop losing your value, stop wasting your time, and start living as the man you were meant to be. Weakness 6. Pre-selection. The hidden power of being desired. There's a reason women are more drawn to men who already seem desired by others. It's called pre-selection. When other women find you attractive, it automatically raises your value in her eyes. She begins to wonder, what does he have that makes other women want him? This doesn't mean you go around bragging or chasing validation. It means you live a life where your value is already recognized. By your friends, your network, and yes, by women too. Pre-selection makes you magnetic, not because you flaunt it, but because it shows you don't need her approval to be seen as valuable. That's powerful. This doesn't mean you go around bragging or chasing validation. It means you live a life where your value is already recognized by your friends, your network, and yes, by women too. Pre-selection makes you magnetic, not because you flaunt it, but because it shows you don't need her approval to be seen as valuable. That's powerful. And here's the secret. When other people recognize your worth first, she starts wondering what they see in you that she hasn't noticed yet. It plants curiosity in her mind, and curiosity is the root of attraction. So there you have it. 6 weaknesses every man must know. not to manipulate, not to play games, but to understand the psychology of attraction and build connections that are authentic, strong, and lasting. The truth is, most men will ignore this. They'll keep chasing, keep seeking validation, keep playing by rules that never worked. But you now have the blueprint. Which weakness opened your eyes the most today? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to hear your stories. And if you're serious about becoming the kind of man women respect and can't resist, don't just watch and click away. Subscribe to the Stoic Guy right now. Share this video with a brother who needs to hear it. And let's keep building this movement together. Keep thinking, keep watching, and above all, keep evolving. And if you're ready to keep walking the real path, the hard one, the good one, make sure you stay stoic, stay sharp,